3 loofah that I've managed to get grown. So I'm watching them like a hawk because they are loved by greenfly. I'm really shocking at sorting out the weak from the strong in the plants. Normally you plant 2 or 3 seeds per pot and all of the tomatoes have came up. So I haven't got space for everything. I can't possibly eat them all. They do grow. So I've saved all the little smaller plants and potted them up and they're perfectly fine. And I'll give them away to neighbours and maybe put them at the front with a free to good home sign. Although it's pick and mix, I can't say which is cherry, salad or beef, so never mind. And between the tomatoes at the front, I've sown some spinach. I had been going to put the basil in here, but I did have a patch of spinach and it just caught my eyes. I thought, I wonder, I'll put them in there. So when the basil does come up, that'll go in here too. Maybe in the middle. Put the spinach in there too, because otherwise it's just a lot of bare soil. So something else I was going to show was that little broken pot there, just in the middle. That is my heater. And it's got a tea light in underneath it. And on cold nights I light that and it just takes the temperature up a degree or two. Not a lot, but it just takes the chill off the air. So it seems to have worked. And so we've gone from lovely organised plot to chaos. Yep. There's a lot going on this side. So plants in various states of growth. Not everything's come up yet, but there's a lot which are now beginning to root into the soil underneath. So I really have to start getting them out. So once this side's cleared, I will be planting up cucumber and chilies, peppers, and a couple more loofah which I kept in the house for now because they're kind of precious. It's a beautiful evening and I've just been in the tunnel the past hour. Well, it's cooler now than it has been, and this is the view from one side, and the sun is still shining. Everything's golden and very green and absolutely beautiful, and the hawthorn is still flowering and it's got a very, very lovely scent. So I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to show you what I've been doing in the tunnel. So I had one side of the bed cleared and planted, and I've done the other side now. So this was all covered in pots of seedlings. They're all out, some planted, some still to do, but I've planted the cucumber and the loofah now, so they're all interspersed with marigold, and the chilies at the front there, some in pots, some into the soil itself. I've kept some in pots because I have read that restricting the roots will encourage the flowers and the fruits, so we'll see how that goes. But I did have some space, so I thought I might try it, see how they go. So we had some Tesco chilies and one of them was really lovely, so I saved all the seeds and they have been prolific. I'm sure every single seed took, and it was very, very hard to let some go. And the other two types are Serrano and Cayenne, all doing very well. Some planted in the pot, some into the bed, and On the other side now, the tomatoes are, they're looking a little bit tired because it's been really hot in here today. But I don't think they like the extremes of temperature. Only been 21 outside. I'm saying only, it's only me. But inside, I think it's probably been about 40 plus. So they've had a water, and I've opened the doors because the hens are away now. So cool down a little. And I've just gone and sprinkled cinnamon powder everywhere, on the walls and around the plants, partly to keep the ants at bay. That cinnamon powder won't do them any harm, but they don't like it, so I've heard. So the idea is to relocate, well, hopefully they'll relocate themselves outside, because they do bite, and they were just beginning to nest in here, and I didn't really want to encourage that. I've got plenty of places to go. And the cinnamon is also supposed to be very good for, well, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. It's supposed to be good for root development. You can use it for root cuttings if you haven't got any rooting hormone. So cinnamon is going to be on my shopping list every week now. And the spinach is just coming up. Make it a little hot for them. And the basil. Cinnamon, basil, holy basil, and another type, and I can't remember the name. And a few more seedlings to go outside. So all being well, this little patch down here, they will all be going outside tomorrow. So again, with the cucumbers, I've used the grey cable that I had, the electrical cable, and secured it at the top and put a knot in the bottom, and the cucumber sat on top of that, so will again act as an anchor, keeping the cable in place. And then within the grey cable there was the finer copper insulated with plastic, so I've cut that into smaller lengths, and that's going to be, I'm going to use that for holding the little plants up, so it stays on by itself because it's quite strong. And I've made it a little hook so that as the plants grow they can just be twined around that. So that's it. And I go down to the other side of the tunnel. Just going to show you this hawthorn out here. It's just beginning to turn pink now. It's been absolutely beautiful. This is everywhere. It just looks like snow.